The Eglinton Crosstown LRT project has limped along for what seems like forever. More than a decade of construction, delays, broken promises, but now at long last the line is in what may be in its final phase before opening. The so-called Revenue Service Demonstration, or RSD, was completed. This 30-day stretch was supposed to simulate real service, trains running across the full 19-kilometer 25-station route, stopping at every station, operating on a regular schedule, exercising all systems, signals, doors, station operations, power, communications, escalators, maintenance procedures, and more. The goal was to prove that the entire system works reliably and safely under the real-world conditions, but before actual paying passengers step on board. This revenue service demonstration officially began on October 7, 2025. This was a major milestone. Everything from infrastructure to vehicle to operation staff finally seemed in place to test the line under full operating conditions. For weeks, the trains rolled. Systems were tested under different times and critically different weather conditions, and stations operated as though passengers would be riding. For many watching and waiting, it felt like finally the long-promised crosstown might open soon. But, just like many previous we're almost there moments for this line, there was a hiccup. In late October, during the demonstration, the testing was paused, reportedly after an incident at the maintenance and storage yard near Mount Dennis. Two trains reportedly collided in the yard. While no injuries were reported, the collision triggered a temporary suspension of the RSD. Naturally, that raised fresh concerns among Torontonians, who've grown more cynical with each new delay. The project had cleared so many hurdles already: civil works, signaling, cars, driver training, and more, only to be derailed at the yard. Still, the pause didn't, at least according to officials, reset the entire 30-day clock. What we got instead was a resumption of the demonstration after the incident, suggesting that the fault may have been contained and manageable. By December 1, 2025, the provincial transit agency, Metrolinx, declared that this day is believed to be the final day of the 30-day revenue service demonstration. In public remarks, Metrolinx's CEO said the system has been tested in all kinds of weather, and that they now anticipate a period of substantial completion. Over the next days, he said, crews will work to resolve minor deficiencies and then coordinate with the operator, the Toronto Transit Commission, to plan how to ramp up for public service. So in plain English, they passed the trial run, but passing does not mean opening tomorrow. There remains a bedding in or wrap-up period, possibly a week or slightly longer, where all the last checks are completed, final safety and reliability reviews, any punch list repairs fixed, station systems, elevators, escalators, lighting, communications, security, HVAC double-checked, under load, operator certifications completed, and then the final handoff from Metrolinx's builders to the TTC's operational control. Only after all of this is confirmed will the line be handed over to the TTC for live passenger service. That handover is a key point. It used to be that once construction was done, they'd announce an opening date months ahead. This time around, under new leadership and mindful of past disasters elsewhere like the troubled rollout of another LRT, Metrolinx and the TTC have signaled that they intend to be cautious and have a step-by-step opening, no grand fanfare, just steady ramp-up, so long as the system proves reliable. In other words, don't expect a month in advance, here's our opening date. Instead, possibly a short public notice once they're confident there are no glaring issues. That said, everything we've seen lately suggests we're in that final push. The infrastructure is complete, the test runs are done, the signal systems, power systems, cars, stations, staff are all working together. The hard visible parts, the tunnels, tracks, stations, vehicles, have been done for a while. What remains now is invisible to the public: paperwork, certifications, safety checks, operational readiness, staff training, final cleanups, real-world testing under variable conditions, and that kind of stuff can be slow. But critically, it can be done quietly and efficiently provided nothing serious shows up. And the stakes are high. If they open the line now and everything works, this could finally be the moment long-suffering transit riders get across City LRT on Eglinton they were promised years ago. If they hurry and something breaks, they risk undermining public confidence for years, something both Metrolinx and TTC seem well aware of. That's why there's no firm date yet. The agencies are saying we'll open only when we're sure it'll run. As for when that might be, let's face it, it could come in the next few weeks to a couple of months. If the bedding in proceeds smoothly and they finish certification, then presumably early 2026 or perhaps even it could be possible at the end of this month in 2025 is realistic. But with past delays and the unpredictable nature of big transit systems, nothing is guaranteed. As a Toronto resident who's followed this project for years, I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'm also going to be keeping my expectations in check. We've all seen lines declared imminent before only to be delayed by signaling bugs, software flaws, or political grandstanding. I'd rather wait a little longer for something stable than ride day one and get stuck in constant breakdowns. So yes, the Crosstown feels ready. I'm looking forward to riding it, but until they actually flip the switch, I'm holding off on any celebrations. The moment that there's an opening date, we'll be able to go ahead. It'll be time to dust off our Presto cards and map out our first ride. Because if everything goes according to plan, this could be the transit moment Toronto has been waiting for over a decade. And just a quick reminder that the long-awaited moment for Northwest Toronto transit riders is also finally arriving, and it still feels surreal to say it out loud, but the Finch West LRT is opening this weekend on Sunday, December 7th, and even though it's being branded as a soft opening, it marks a major turning point for mobility across the Finch corridor. After years of construction cones, detours, lane shifts, and the endless jokes about whether the line would open before the heat death of the universe, this weekend finally gives riders a first look at a project that has reshaped one of the busiest transit corridors in the city. And just to be clear, the December 7th rollout is what officials are calling a soft opening. That means that the line will technically be open to the public, trains will be running, and stations will be accessible, but certain elements may still be in the final finishing stages. In transit terms, this soft opening gives the system time to stabilize before full regular service patterns lock in, all while allowing transit riders to finally step into the brand new LRVs and use the line for actual travel rather than simply viewing it from behind construction fences. For decades, riders along Finch Avenue have relied on buses that were routinely overcrowded, bunched, slowed by traffic, or stuck in unpredictable weather conditions. The new LRT brings exactly what countless residents have been asking for: faster, smoother, and more reliable east-west service with dedicated lanes, modern platforms, and a level of comfort that simply wasn't possible with a bus-only corridor. Even in soft open form, the line will drastically elevate the daily commute for thousands. The soft opening label is important. Riders should expect the possibility of slight adjustments as the line settles in. Operators and control staff will be gaining real-world experience on the corridor, and service frequency may be slightly ramped up over the days following the opening. It's common for newly opened rail lines to fine-tune schedules, platform procedures, and customer flow routines. But none of that takes away from the fact that for the first time, Torontonians will finally be able to tap onto the Finch West LRT and enjoy a smooth trip across Northwest Toronto without fighting traffic or waiting for an overcrowded bus. I hope that you liked the video. If so, please give it a like. If you're not subscribed and want to be notified of new videos that are released, please click on the Art Toronto button here. This is the video that I would recommend for you to watch next, and I'm sure that you're going to love it. Here's the playlist for all of the latest in transit news and views that you're going to find very informative and interesting. And finally, here is the latest video. Thanks for watching, and happy transiting.